Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, miss. My name is Raihan Insan. My ID number is 33210004N8. And then I'm from 33.1A.01. And on this video, I wanna show my uh, last or my final term project for pronunciation drill. Read this story correctly. Baby Caterpillar was tired. All summer long she had been traveling slowly through the green world where she lived, and feeding on the green leaves that grew near her home. Now autumn had come and Mother Nature had given a holiday to the leaves, who put on their new dresses of red and gold and played tag with the breezes. Baby Caterpillar wanted to play too, but could not run so fast as the happy little leaves, and she grew very tired and thought she would take a nap. So he found a cozy place among the branches of grapevine and made herself a soft, silky blanket. Then she rolled herself away within it, and then, in her queer little cradle, went to sleep. One night, late in the fall, Jack Frost came over the hill, his spite and cradle swinging to and fro, and began to do roughly with it, for he is a roguish little fellow and touch everything that comes in his way. But the warm blanket hid the little sleeper so that Jack could not find her. By and by King Winter came, bringing beautiful snow blankets to Mother Nature flowers babies. He gently rocked the cradle as he passed and whispered, "Sleep, baby, sleep. You have no need of my blankets." At last, at last spring came with the sunbeams, the best of merries of Mother Nature helpers. They awoke the flower from their long winter nap and called to the bird and the brooks to begin their songs. When they came to the little brown cradle, they stopped to rest, and baby caterpillar began to get very warm under the thick blanket. She woke up and stretched herself, and her cradle broke, and she came out to greet the spring. But what a change! Uh, instead of the old dingy dress that she went to sleep in, she now had a beautiful yellow one, and instead of crawling among the leaves, she flew up and away into the sweet spring air to play with the sunbeams and flowers, and the little children called her a butterfly. Read this poem correctly. Billet does not rhyme with ballet, bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet, blot, and float are not like food, nor is malt like salt and wool, viscous, viscount, lot, and broad, towards to forwards to rewards, and your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet, rounded, wounded, grief, see, friend, and fin, life, and live. Ivy, privy, famous, glamour, and enamour. Rhyme with hammer, rifle, tomb, bomb, comb, doll, and roll, and some, and home. Strangers does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour clangor. Souls and foul, hound and ant, fonts, front, want, want, grand, and grant. Shoes, ghost, does, no, does, no first say finger, and then singer, ginger, linger, real, zeal, mouth, gauge, gauge, marriage, foliage, morass, and age. uh, Query does not aim with fairy nor does fury sounds like berry. That's lost pose and Dave. Cloth, lot, job, knob, bosom, transom off. Though the differences seem little, we say actual but fiddle. River does not rhyme with defer, fover, dust, and zipper. Heifer means paint, snout, and sedate. Doll, bull, and George Let. Cynic, Arabic, Pacific, science, cause science, and scientific. Liberty, library, Heath and heaven, Rachel, egg, mustache, 11, we say loud but loud. People, upper, thought but yeah, thought but fault. Mark the differences, moreover, between mover, cover, glue, clover, leeches, breeches, wise, precise, callous, but police, and lies, camel, constable, unstable, principal, disciple, label. Petal, penal, and journal. White surprise, play, promise, pale, worm, and storm. Worm and storm, chase, chouse, chair, senator, spectator, mayor, juror, but hour, and shaker, for, gas, alas, and Arkansas. Cida, Korea, area, some, Maria, but malaria. Youth, south, southern, cleanse and clean. Doctrine, turpentine, marine. Compare alien with Italian, dandelion and battalion. Sally with lie, yea, ye. I, 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 way and key. Say ever but ever. Fever, neither. Leisure, skein. Deceiver, heron. Granary, canary, crawfish, and the files, and the vice and Ari. Read this twister tone naturally. Read it 3 times. The first is slow mode, the second normal mode, and the last is the fast mode. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Can you can into an can like a canner, can, a can into an uncanned can. Can you can into an uncanned can like a canner can a can into an uncanned can? Can you can into an uncanned can like a canner can a can into an uncanned can? Silly, Sally, swiftly, shoot, seven, silly, sheep. The seven silly sheep, silly, Sally, shoot, silly, shallot, salt. The sheep shouldn't sleep in a shark, sheep should sleep in a shed. Silly Sally swiftly shoot seven silly sheep. The seven silly sheep, silly Sally shoot chili, shallot, salt. The sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. Silly Sally swiftly shoot seven silly sheep. The seven silly sheep, silly Sally shoots chili, shallot, salt. The sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. All I want is proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Amidst the mist and cold frost, with stoutest race and loudest boast, he thrusts his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he thrusts his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he thrusts his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. And yep, that's all miss for my last or my final term video project. Hope you enjoy watch the video and see ya.